and then we're going for Norseman.
Found the 51st state.
Forgot they were closed. Constellation prize. It's like a Monday and there's this market out and there's no children in school. It makes no sense. What up, guys? Heading home from the cafe in Evie. Meant to go to Altura, but they were closed today, which I totally forgot about. They close on Mondays. Been a pretty chill Monday. Woke up at like maybe 9:30, maybe 9:45. And yeah, pretty slow day. I've been pretty tired these last few weeks. Not like the biggest week in the world last week, just taking another one over, adding to the whiteboard. But you know, been having some pretty heavy fatigue, which is pretty standard. Like, I think as pro triathletes, like, you know, 20% of the time you feel awesome and good, and you're like, oh yeah, this all makes sense, we're chilling. And then 10% of the time you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, everything's going terrible, you're hurt, you're sick, you're just fucked. And then like, what's left? 70%? 70% of the time, you're just like confused, generally pretty tired, and you think everything is a magic bullet. Where you're like, oh, if I just do that, I'll feel so much better. Or like, oh, if I, you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel terrible, but you want to feel better. And that's like the Lionel Sanders conundrum, where you like feel shitty, and then you find something you think will work. You get on the internet and tell everyone, and then it just doesn't work. And bro's been doing that for like, so like, the answers are usually like, train more, train less, train the same, train harder, train easier, train with the same intensity, eat more, usually never eat less, or eat the same, and then drink more, or drink about the same. So like, there's only so much you can do, and the reality is fatigue is inevitable. So yeah, just camping out on this Monday on some random frontage road in Spain and like getting through the day. So all of that is to say, I was gonna like make a list of all the things I was gonna do today at the cafe, and I just forgot because I'm kind of tired. And I was listening to like the just weird ambient music that had like Living on a Prayer, but like not the same, not Bon Jovi. So yeah, you know, probably safe for copyright on YouTube. Yeah, for sure on the list is grocery shopping. I'm gonna do one shop right now. I got a little bag with me, get some bread and some bananas and some other like just snacks. And then we'll hit a big shop later in the afternoon after I nap and then swim. And then we've got a lift, and probably gonna do some other work. maybe edit this video. Also shave and give myself a haircut, because those are just two things that kind of need to happen. Oro. Just destroyed a jar of Nutella. Get fucking cyclists. I think I gain Aura points for riding through a cloud. All right, this is the whiteboard. You can see how many hours I've trained this year. I think I've done 11 weeks, so just over 20 hours a week average. There's the potential race schedule. Bottom three are pretty much guaranteed. Then we have the things I need to get set up on my bike. I'm good on the headset, actually. We can cross that off. Probably okay on the bottom bracket. Probably okay on wheels, but and then we have all right, got a fresh cut, shaved, and now it's gonna be a little bit of a snack. Then we're gonna head down to the pool. I've got 2,500, no set, just drills. So gonna vibe out, do that, hit the grocery store, and then do my lift. So relatively productive afternoon for me coming up. All right, all right, we got that 2.5K swim done, basically no set, just balling out, doing some drills, you know, single arm, sculling, wearing the snorkel. And now I've got my lift, which is pretty sick. I use the Keegan swerable method of using the trainer to deadlift with that because works just fine. And yeah, so I'm gonna hit this lift, make a little snack, call my boy Blake. Gotta coach him through some shit. Not like life shit, just triathlon shit. But then yeah, that'll probably be it for the day. You know, maybe I'll film my workout and you guys can, you know, watch me lift weights. No big deal. What up, guys? So I left you kind of hanging at the end of that. Got pretty tired, did my easy swim, and I figured I would go through my season's plans and kind of what's next. So this year, as you might be able to tell from behind me, there's a race, Pensacola. I'm probably not racing that. Gran Canaria, I'm probably not racing that. I'm going to probably open my season in 70.3 Valencia. So head to the coast on the train or whatever. Go rip Valencia. And that should be my season opener, basically a home race for me. And the reason for that is my two primary targets for the year are Ironman distance races. But the first one is Ironman Austria, and it's super important that I do not get a drafting penalty during an Ironman. As I found out during Arizona, it is not fun getting a drafting penalty in a full Ironman, especially if you have a decent swim and then you watch like most of the field ride past you from the penalty tent after you had a decent gap. That kind of sucks. And so I'm going to be practicing my 20-meter draft zone drafting at 70.3 Valencia with probably about 90 other pros. And I'll also be practicing my dive starts, which are pretty sick. See photo from last time. And then I'm going to do Ironman Austria. And that is my primary target of Ironman racing for the year. I would really, really, really like to be in the top 5 there if I can, but it's all very field dependent. You never really know who's going. I would love to have as competitive of a race as I possibly can in Austria. I think it's a course that suits me. I love racing in Austria. I was 10th there last time. So that's my second big target of the year. Well, really first big target. First race is Valencia. And then we're going for Norseman. And it's no secret there. That's basically the hardest triathlon there is. You swim in the fjord, whatever, bike. It's like 10,000 feet of elevation gain over the full distance bike, and 5,000 feet of those come in the first 20 miles, I believe. And then the run is 16 miles of completely flat running. And then you go up a hill called Zombie Hill for 5 or 6 miles. And then you climb up a mountain. So the run has about 6,000 feet of elevation gain, all within the last 10 miles. Pure your boy Scott Jurek power hiking montage sesh. I'll probably have my brother out there supporting me on the run there, so that'll be really special. And yeah, my goal is to do as good as I can in those 2 full distance races. And so to get me fully ready for the 20-meter draft zone. Another thing I'm going to be doing is some aero testing, and I just got some new equipment. As you can tell right here, I've got all this new shit, and I need to validate that it's fast, and I also need to figure out what my CDA is so I know how many watts I need to push to go the certain speeds that I want to go, and what I can improve on, or like where I'm at, where I've been at, you know, baseline from previous years. And then we're gonna test a whole bunch of shit that I bought and basically like see what's fast. I'm not gonna do any position changes to the back end of my bike, that's for damn sure. The only thing I might change with the front end is going to be the tilt and possibly the reach, but it'll be a very small amount. I figured out that I'm pretty sensitive to changes, and I've found a fit that works for me, and now it's about equipment optimization. And I do think it's a pretty slippery fit because I don't push very many watts and I tend to go pretty quick. But if I can go quicker, that's the goal. And so we're going to be figuring out which equipment is fastest for me. So that's probably going to be in the next video, and I will see you guys there.